Hi, this is Suzan McDowell, and welcome to my show, In the Circle with Suzan, my lovely show with community newspapers. Hi, Michael Miller, where I get to talk about whatever I want with people that I think are interesting and topics that I like. So it's spring. It's my favorite time of year. The only other more fantastic time than April in Miami is like Brooklyn in the fall. Anyway, it's that kind of vibe here in Miami. It's not hot. It's not cold. We're having a great time. It's festival season. And anyway, it's my favorite time of year. And I am so happy to have one of the people that I think is super interesting, Mr. John Lorfils. Yay!
Hey, thank you for having me.
Hi, John.
How you doing, Suzanne?
I'm good. I'm just, a little rushed today. Trying to calm down. And I normally have a lot of energy anyway. So
I'm normally the one that's nervous.
I know. And you're normally but you're always cool. You're always chill. You're always like, yeah, Sue. So anyway, okay. So I'm going to start this like I normally do.
Okay.
And then while you talk, I'm going to breathe. So your name is John Lorfils.
Yes. John
You were
Lorfils.
born, and then what happened?
All right. So my name is actually John Romero Lorfils. I do have a middle name. You probably
John
didn't know
Romero.
that. Yeah, Romero.
Oh, yeah, that's your new name.
Yes. So I was
That's
named
your new
by.
nickname. You know that, right?
I receive it. I was actually named by my father. So I am the interim deputy city manager for the city of North Miami. And I'm happy to be here on the show with you today.
Thank you for coming. Okay, start from the beginning. So I was born, you were born, and then what happened?
Yes, so I was born here in the city of Miami. I'm a proud product of two immigrants that made the ultimate sacrifice to get on a boat to navigate from Haiti to the United States, seeking for, a better life. I had 3 additional children here in the city of Miami, while also they left behind 3 kids in Haiti that were being raised by my grandparents.
You have 3 brothers and sisters. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's a total of 8 of us.
There's 8 of you, and you were number which one?
I'm right in the middle.
Oh, you're a middle child.
Yeah, I am a middle child.
Oh, that means you're crazy. Like me, I'm also a middle child.
Yeah, my sisters say the same thing.
Yes. Oh, and you have sisters?
Yeah, I do. I'm my mom's only son.
And how many sisters do you have?
I have 5 sisters.
And you?
My youngest sister passed away, and myself. Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's no problem.
That was hot. No, I'm rough.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but you have all sisters.
Yes, mainly sisters.
Yeah.
On my mom's side, and then I have 2 brothers. Then my dad remarried.
Got it.
My parents separated when I was early teenage years.
Got it. No, yeah, so. I understand. I have a product of a divorced family as well, so I understand. So anyway, okay, so your parents came over from
Yes,
Haiti.
My parents migrated here from Haiti. Originally, we lived, born in city of Miami.
Where?
I actually was born in Sable Palm.
Where's
Sable
that?
Palm. Sable Palm is right on, I want to say, 54th and Northeast 2nd, east of Northeast 2nd Avenue off of 54th. I think right now it's called...
Is that like Little Haiti?
Yeah, it is in Little Haiti.
Yeah. Yes. Little Haiti-ish,
yes.
Yeah.
So that's where I was originally born.
Oh, nice.
Moved around quite a bit growing up. Left Sable Palm. I remember we lived on the beach for a little while.
On the beach?
Yes.
On
right off of Miami Beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like 79th Street East. I used to go to Treasure Island Elementary School.
Oh, like North Beach, like North Bay Causeway.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I live right off of Notre Dame Avenue.
Oh, wow. On North Bay Causeway, North Bay Village?
No, well, east of North Bay Village. So once you pass North Bay Village, you go over the first bridge, and then you go all the way out east.
Like to the beach?
Yeah. Not all the way to the beach, but closer to
That's
the beach.
Unusual.
Yeah. So
that's unusual.
Yeah. So we lived there for a little while. From that time, I remember when we moved out when I was young, my sister was born. My sister that follows me, her name is Nancy. We ended up my parents moved us to Haiti.
So so you were born here.
I was born here.
In Miami.
Yes, born in
And
Miami.
then they took you to Haiti?
And then they took me to Haiti.
Whoa, that's
I was 7, 8 years old.
What?
Yeah, when I moved
And you
to
left
Haiti.
America to go to Haiti?
I didn't have a choice.
No, I understand. When I was 11, I left Jamaica to come to America, and I didn't have a choice. Doesn't matter what happened. I didn't have a choice. So what was that like?
So I was 8 years old, so didn't really know what to expect. It was my first time visiting the country where my parents were from. And as a matter of fact, during that time, it was the first time I met my three older sisters. So
Okay.
Yeah, when my parents
because they left
migrated
three
here,
kids
they left three kids in Haiti. Yeah, so by that time,
so that's why you moved back.
Not necessarily.
To go
my
back
dad.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad. Originally my dad wanted to move to Haiti, and the intent was we were going to live in Haiti, go to school in Haiti, but it didn't pan out that way. So we ended up being there for 2 years.
Okay.
My mom got pregnant again. She came back to Miami, gave birth to my youngest sister, Jennifer. And then Jennifer came to Haiti for a short little while before we all came back to Miami. And then this is the time when I moved to North Miami when I was about 10, 11.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I've been...
That's a lot. Okay, so culturally, I know because I did, like I told you, I did the opposite. To go from being a little, 11-year-old girl in prep school in Jamaica to 5 seconds later with a plane flight, I'm now a little Black girl in Texas at 11. Culture shock. Crazy. And I'm grateful for those first 11 years in Jamaica because they formed me. You're kind of like formed by 8. So now I have the opposite. So you're here. You're John, American John.
Yes.
Descendants of Haitians, you know what I mean? But American John. So you have your 8 years, which is basically when you're whoever you are, it's basically by 8. So you have that John that now goes to Haiti, which is a way different situation than comfy America.
That's true. But actually the culture shock didn't hit until I went back. So
he went back to America.
I went back to America when I was about 10, 11, and then moved back to Haiti when I was 13. So when I turned 13, my dad decided to run for office in Haiti. So
oh my God.
He wanted his kids with him.
All these things, I've known you all this time and you know anything about you. Okay, yes. This is why people come on the show. I forget. Every single time this happens, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I've had an interesting...
I'm so confused. It's a maze right now.
Yeah, so when so after moving to Haiti, like the move to Haiti when I was 8, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was, I'm a very, very curious person. So
yes, naturally.
Different country. I think I adapted well that first 2 years. I got to meet my grandparents for the first time.
Oh, wow. So
it was a little bit different.
You got to spend a couple of years with your grandparents?
Yeah, I got to spend a couple of years with my grandparents. That was pretty fun. And as a matter of fact, like one of the memories that I keep with me, my grandmother on my mom's side gifted me on a birthday a small coconut plant. And the coconut tree is still at the house in Haiti. So I've been back around the house when I've visited, and the coconut tree. Is it the
same coconut tree?
Same coconut tree. I haven't had any coconuts from the tree, but the same coconut tree.
Got it. No, that's nice. I mean, it's like those like little things in your life that you remember. Of course, it's important.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 2 years. Then we ended up moving back to Miami. This is when I actually settled into North Miami. So we left the city of Miami and moved to North Miami when I was about 10 or 11.
Which of those switcheroos did you say was the hardest culturally?
So moving back to Haiti when I was 13.
Okay, so you're 8. You moved to Haiti. Yeah, yes. You have an awesome time. Move back to America. Then leave America to go back to Haiti. But now you are.
So now I'm 13.
Now you're 13.
12 going on 13.
Completely different person.
Yeah, completely different. Because at this time now, when I'm leaving elementary school, there's a lot of things that I was doing here that I was looking forward to doing. I was already participating in sports, and I was looking forward to, being, participating in Optimist football and all of that stuff. So I finished the 6th grade at Biscayne Gardens Elementary. Ended up going to summer school at Thomas Jefferson, but never made the actual school year. So
why? Because you went back to Haiti?
Yeah, so I ended up moving back to Haiti when I was 13. So this is where I really like the culture shock. Because then at this point, I'm like, why am I going back to Haiti? What is the reason why I'm going back to this country? I wasn't born there. So I was looking forward to all of these things that I wanted to do in middle school, especially athletic.
Oh, and you got yanked.
And I got yanked.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
To
what
go
happened
to
to
Haiti.
me? I got you.
So, at the time I thought it was, I looked at it as a selfish move on my dad's part because he was the one that was running for office. So
I know. Like, and okay. They're like, oh, he'll be fine. They don't, I mean.
Yeah. So your parents, they do what they want to do with you.
I'm sure my daughter, I know my daughter thinks all the same things, but in a different scenario. It's just, It's parents. It's what happens.
Exactly. But I mean, it actually ended up working out and being a good thing. Looking back at it
now,
later.
yeah.
Because at this time, I got the opportunity to experience the country a little bit different because I was a little bit older. So, but initially when I the move to Haiti at the beginning, I think it probably took me maybe about 6 to 8 months to kind of settle in, adjust. My parents tried to make me, they tried to make me comfortable. There, I remember my mom purchased my first Sega Genesis, so I would just ask for things. So, because we lived with,
because you knew, dude, that's what I used to do. So, we would be like, okay, like, bribe us with gifts. Yes, because they feel guilty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my mom, she did the best that she can to try to help make the situation as comfortable as possible. So whenever she would come, because my dad and my mom would rotate back and forth coming to the country.
Like when she came to have your sister.
Yeah. So every time, one of them was leaving to go back to Miami, I would tell them when they come back, they need to bring something back. So whether it was games, a video game, sneakers or something. So I took advantage of it while I was there.
Oh my God.
But
I thought I was special, but no. Apparently just a bunch of greedy kids.
So what actually ended up happening after a while, I got acclimated. I ended up making some new friends when I was there. I got to know the country a little bit better. I got to experience a couple of different things.
Was it quicker? Was the assimilation quicker, even though you were mad?
Yeah, it was. It was quicker because, as a matter of fact, by the time it was time for me to go to high school, my mom gave me the option because during this time
to go back to America.
To go back to America.
And what did you do?
Because between this time, this is during the time when my parents separated. So this time, my mom actually gave me the option. She was like, "Okay, do you want to stay or do you want to go back?" And from remembering how I felt going to Haiti, because I didn't want to go, but I didn't have a choice. And then by the time I was getting ready to go to ninth grade, it was a tough decision because I made new friends.
It wasn't clear.
It wasn't clear.
Thank God,
Yeah. So ultimately, what the decision I made, I decided to come back to Miami because I wanted to play sports.
Oh, okay. So there's an additional reason.
Yeah.
So all things being equal, you might have it was tipped by the sports.
It was tipped by the fact that I wanted to play sports, and I played sports in Haiti. At the school that I went to American Academy. I was there for 2 years. The last year.
You went to an American school?
Yeah, I went to American school both times.
You're one of the rich Haitians.
Yeah, no, not necessarily.
Like a Petronville Haitian?
No.
You sure?
No. Just I didn't.
Responsible parents who wanted a good education.
Exactly.
And look at you.
And then plus, I didn't speak Creole at the time.
Oh, got it.
Just to kind of keep me
slide you in.
Exactly. So I went to an American school both times. When I went there the first time and the second time. So I went to a school called American Academy. I was there 2 years, and then I transferred over to another school called New American School.
That's really awesome, right? It's really great to have, and looking back at the whole thing now, it's great for you to have both of those things at the same time.
Yeah, I ended up realizing that a little bit later.
Seriously.
Because
your brain can work in both places now.
Exactly. So when the time came to leave New American, because I was on a basketball team there. Basketball wasn't really what I wanted to play. Football was what I wanted to play.
I feel
and
like
there wasn't a football program there. Exactly.
This whole thing.
So
what kind of football player? Like you were like a linebacker?
No, I was actually a receiver. I was like when I was about 100.
That's one of those like
pounds
throw me the ball.
Yeah, so we ended up
like that, right? Just like that?
Just like something like that.
When I was a football player, that's how we used to do it.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so the experience of living in Haiti, now when I look back at it, I have a better appreciation for it because I have a love for the country as if I was
very
born
nostalgic,
there. Wasn't.
Yeah. And then the coconut tree.
Yeah, the coconut tree and everything else, the beaches, the food. I'm Haitian in heart. Like,
yeah, you're country proud.
Yeah,
I understand. Jamaicans, even though I know we went over this the other day, that, there's Jamaica and then there's everybody else. And Haiti's one of those lovely everybody else's. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, listen. I know we
you're not competitive with my Jamaica.
No, I know we go back and forth about who has better food.
Well, I mean,
but
okay. Well, should we count it up?
You guys make good jerk chicken.
No. I would like to count out the superiority of the island. Bob Marley, thank you very much.
Okay.
Album of the century, the most prolific artist ever.
We appreciate
Jerk
Bob Marley.
pork, not just jerk pork, jerk chicken, all that foolishness, jerk everything, rasta pasta.
And then we make everything else better.
And then we have, I'm so sorry, I wasn't done. And then we have Usain Bolt. I want to make sure we know that whole track team thing.
That is true.
And then we have the beaches and all of that.
And then we have everything else.
And then you have great. I've actually been to Haiti.
I've actually been to Jamaica too.
You have? Well,
I have.
How many times have you been to Jamaica?
I've been to Jamaica twice. I've been to Jamaica on a cruise. I went on a cruise to Ocho Rios.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time I traveled to Jamaica, funny story about that travel. I flew into the wrong airport.
Oh.
So I was staying at a hotel in Montego Bay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I flew into Kingston.
Oh, so you had to take the 3-hour drive.
So yeah. I had a buddy of mine who had a cousin that lived in Jamaica who took the 3-hour drive from Montego Bay
to come and get you?
To come and pick me up
and take you back?
And take me
what?
back. It's the worst drive.
I was going to say it's this drive.
So
up, down, around, and around.
Yeah, his name was Sheldon.
And he's driving like this, right?
Yeah, he's driving crazy. Driving crazy. He was driving with his knee, and then plus he was driving on the other side. So
yeah, he's driving on the left
driver's side. So every time, I felt like the brake needed to be squeezed. So I was like reaching for a steering wheel and, pressing for a brake that wasn't there.
So I'm apologizing now. If you ever ride in my car, I'm apologizing now. I just want you to remember that experience.
As long as it's here, I'm not
understand where it comes from. It's a Jamaican thing. Always trying to. This is Jamaican. Jamaicans are so like always trying to be more. Anyway,
but it was a good experience.
Yes. So anyway, okay. So
yes,
back to you loving being a Haitian. I think that's awesome, and that's also a strength. In addition to my point about being at the American school and the new American school in Haiti is the fact that you almost have like a little basket of comfort as an American, but you get to like also have the beauty of the island while you have that comfort.
The best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds. Exactly. There you go. There's a phrase for it. Best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds.
And then, from a macro level, the fact that you are American culture and Haitian culture in the world in general really gives a really awesome textured understanding of culture. And you moved to North Miami, so now you have all those things, and you're Miami-Dade.
Yes.
So, like Trick Daddy says, represent.
Represent.
There you go.
Represent.
And so, what hood is you represent North Miami?
I represent Nomiville.
Nomiville.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I just made that up.
I was like, we are literally working on a campaign right now. Me and you, John Lorfils. I'm like, wait, what? Did I miss something?
I just came up with that. But yeah, so I moved back here. Now I'm in North Miami. I'm at North Miami Middle School, and then went over to high school. Graduated from high school. Played football for the senior high, and now I get the opportunity to live in the city. I work for the city. I get to see a lot of kids.
Have the
ride
same
down the same streets and
do the same trajectory kind of thing.
Yeah.
So don't try to skip a part. You in North Miami. Now, what happened between then and your current fabulousness?
So what happened between then? So as I said, I went to North Miami Middle School. Ended up going to high school. Played sports at the high school.
High school at Jefferson?
No. North Miami Senior High School.
So Miami Middle and then Senior.
North Miami Middle and then Senior.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I ended up graduating from North Miami Senior High School and then moved again. I moved to California.
Oh, lovely.
After I graduated. Again, still pursuing
Why are
sports.
you in California?
I'm in California. Football took me to California.
Why are you from there to California? You're so busy.
Well, I mean, by this time, during this time, as an athlete, we graduated from high school, like myself and all of the other football players on the team. We're all interested in going to
You want to go to college?
Yeah, where we could continue to play.
So you got a scholarship in California?
No, I went to a junior college.
In California?
In California.
Got it.
Yeah,
Why?
I went to a junior college. Why did I go to California?
Why do you go to junior college in California? Why did you do that?
No, because it was the opportunity that was.
So junior colleges have football teams?
Junior colleges have football teams. Not at the time, not in Florida.
Got
So
you,
I
in
could've stayed in
California.
Florida. So, because at that time, like FIU didn't have a football program.
Gotcha.
FAU didn't have a football program. You know, I would have had to have gone to either Florida State or FAM or Bethune, but I ended up going to a junior college in California. So I was willing to move. And it's a small town called Visalia. It's about 30 minutes away from Fresno. Fresno is probably the nearest. Oh my God,
you're like deep in California.
Yeah, it was every time we traveled to, because I actually went to California with two of my classmates.
Yeah, your classmates, so, fellow football players.
Yeah, so it was the three of us, myself, Edwin Seymour, and Michael Francois. So we got up and went to California that was probably the furthest that I'd ever traveled at that time.
California is a whole nother vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe.
I moved here from California, from Los Angeles.
Oh, really?
So I'm a total Valley girl meets New York meets Miami, but really from Jamaica. It's a whole thing. Oh, yeah. But the California part, my point is like just another kind of way to look at it, which gives you more. That's why you're so curious, is because you have been able to piece all these things together. Okay, so then you bounce to California, and then what happened?
So I bounced to California, and then the other thing is California is such a big state. The travel to California is about 5 hours. Mm-hmm. So that's a 5-hour flight to a new place, and then when we get there,
and a 3-hour time difference.
3-hour time difference, and we had to get on the Greyhound, which was like a 6-hour drive
to
get to the town where we were going to stay. But as a matter of fact, the time when we actually flew there, we flew into Bakersfield.
Okay.
So leaving Miami International Airport, flying into a very, very small airport when we got to Bakersfield.
Yeah, Miami is one of the biggest in the world. So it's like that.
Yeah. So that was another culture shock when I got, because when you hear California, I'm thinking LA, Sacramento, Oakland.
Oh, but you're in like some teeny tiny
we're
little
in a really small town
in California.
So we end up in
where are the stars?
In Bakersfield. Nah, we were introduced with tumbleweed. Yeah, that was my.
Might as well been in Wyoming.
So yeah, we get there. One of the coaches picked us up. It was actually, I can't remember. It was a couple of hours for us to get to Visalia. And then when we got there, they drove us around the stadium, drove us around the campus. School didn't start yet because I moved to California. This is January of 2001. Mm-hmm. So I get to California, and then I was homesick for probably about the first month. Missed my mom, missed my sisters.
Of course.
And I used to lock myself in the bathroom to cry.
Aww.
So my roommates would, I tried to hide it, but they would go to the door and put their ear to the door. You're so
sensitive.
And they would hear me crying in the bathroom, so they made fun of me.
Aw, I'm gonna make fun of you from now on as well.
Hey, I receive it. But California, I ended up liking California too, because it was a smaller city.
Yeah.
Coming from Miami to a much smaller city, things settled in after we started getting into practice. So the focus was football at the time, and so we're practicing, we're going to school, and then I remember we played our first game against another school, and I didn't realize like how much the community was involved in the athletics programs when we were in the school. So the city would pretty much, like Visalia, was shut down. And this was like basketball
for you
games,
guys,
football games. Like the city was shut down.
Oh wow! So you were like a star in California.
Yeah, the program was we didn't win much games that first year.
I bet you didn't.
So that was rough. But other than that, like once the games were over, the city was good to me. Mm-hmm. So it was a different culture shock when we got there, but I adjusted. But I was always ready to come back home. Yeah,
okay, so fast forward to coming back home. How do you graduate college, and how do you start your professional career? We're like running out of time.
So I graduate college. We moved back to Miami. I enrolled into FIU. Mm-hmm. I had to do an additional 2 years. During the time when I was getting ready to graduate, I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing. Mm-hmm. So what ended up happening is, trying to figure out what was next. Right before I graduated, and I'm living in North Miami at this time, what ended up catching my attention, I started to see political signs. Mm-hmm. Not that they weren't out all of the time, but for some reason, the political signs started to be a little bit more noticeable to me. Mm-hmm. And there was a young man at the time who was running for mayor. And I remember his picture on the sign. He looked kind of young.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this guy is running for mayor.
And he's young.
Mind you, this is the first time I'm being involved with government, with the city.
Mm-hmm.
We participated, I think, in Thanksgiving Day Parade when I was in high school. So the interest in government ended up happening. And then I get a phone call from my dad who says, hey, I have a friend of mine running for office.
Because your dad was was a politician.
Yes. So he makes a phone call and says, hey, meet me at this address. I want to introduce you to somebody who's running for mayor. I'd like for you to volunteer.
Mm-hmm.
And
who was that?
That's Andre Pierre.
Andre Pierre, who I love him so much. I love Andre. Hi, Andre. I love Andre Pierre.
So I ended up meeting Andre, ended up volunteering on his campaign.
You guys must have been a duo.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Andre's a very, very, he's different. He's an interesting character.
He's interesting.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
But so I get involved in this campaign and I'm like, I'm here, I'm volunteering, not really sure why. But it wasn't really until I started engaging with the community on the campaign, started to hear the concerns, because, there were certain questions that we would ask the residents. And then, some of the concerns that they were expressing, some of the things that they were saying that they would like to see happen, that the city could do better on, I ended up developing a passion for helping people. And I wasn't sure where it was going to go at that time, but
you knew that you had kind of like found something that you wanted to do.
Something that I was interested in.
That you're interested in.
So I wasn't sure if it was campaiigning, but, long story short, it ended up a job.
You ended up so you helped Andre with his campaign, and then he became the mayor.
And became the mayor.
And then you started as what?
So I actually didn't even work for the city when Andre was mayor. So I was just still involved. So now I'm attending meetings, I'm participating in different programs, events that the city is having. It was probably at the end of Andre's term, I believe, because I started working in the city.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think election was getting ready to happen. So I think Andre was coming out. However it worked out, but yeah, I ended up getting a job at the city.
And that was 2012. So 13 years.
13 years.
What was your first job?
First job, I was the constituent service coordinator for sanitation.
You were the constituent service coordinator. Talk about specific. And now you are?
Now I'm the interim deputy city manager for the city, and then also the economic development director.
Yeah. Let's start again. I just want to hear it. What'd you start as?
I started out as the constituent service coordinator for sanitation as a part-time position.
Part-time?
Part-time.
Got you. Okay. And then now you are?
Now I'm the interim deputy city manager and economic development director.
Gotcha. That sounds like progress.
Yeah.
That sounds like progress to me.
If you would have asked me then, I didn't see it coming, but.
You never do. Do we ever? I mean, life be lifing.
That's true.
I look back on some of this stuff. I'm like, how am I even still here? How did I get this far? How? You really just have to go like, I don't even know how, but here I am.
Nah, periodically it's a question I ask myself all of the time, but I'm thankful for it.
But it's life. Just so you know, you're like, again, we're not even special. It's the meaning of life is always the question.
That is true.
So today, so now, thank you very much for having us as your agency.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We were so privileged to start with you with Nomi Tech, in 2023. And now here we are again working on our fabulous branding campaign for the city that we'll be revealing soon. And then this month is Nomi Tech month.
Nomi Tech month.
So we have like 5 seconds. We're actually going to extend the show by like 7 minutes. They'll let me 7. Okay. And then, so now tell me about Nomi Tech.
So Nomi Tech. Nomi Tech is it's an initiative of one of our people councilwoman, Estime Irvin. The initiative kicked off April of 2023.
April 19th.
April 19th of 2023 was the actual official
event.
kickoff. Yes, it was.
You must have good event management. Oh my God, a marketer.
So we were blessed to have Circle of One Marketing help us with launching the initiative. The councilwoman was very passionate about bringing this initiative to the community. Pretty much what it is, it's an initiative to create new opportunities for residents. Technology right now I don't think there's really much that you can do in life right now where technology is not involved.
It's changed our whole life.
Exactly. So just
and people don't realize how much a little teeny tiny piece of technology.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Everything.
So from the way that we communicate, we meet, just pretty much technology is involved in everything. So the initiative is focused on creating programs for residents of the community that may be interested in going into tech. Multi-generational. And then, even people that may be interested in transitioning careers into technology, or new entrepreneurs that may be going into the tech space. And then being that the city of North Miami is a minority community, it's I think it's a great initiative, the timing and everything with what's happening with technology just in Miami-Dade County as a whole.
Yeah, oh my God.
And from some of the research that I've done, underrepresented communities don't really get a bulk of the resources and funding.
Absolutely.
And technology.
That
so being that
systemic.
Exactly.
The beauty of technology, though, is it democratizes everything.
That is true.
It democratizes everything. You know what I mean? Like, all things being equal, everyone's got access to technology. So if we, if you're able to understand it, it really, and lean into it. Like yesterday, I had to do a proposal yesterday, and I was like, I wanted to kill myself because I hate writing proposals. I'm a good writer and I love writing, but I hate writing proposals. And my staff was like, well, how about if you just do it this way? This like little kind of like easy technology-based way. And then I was like, it's easy. It made my life so much easier. Yeah. And I don't know if people understand. I mean, think about like the George Floyd movement, that whole movement. Those things that happened to Black people have been happening for years.
Yeah. Unfortunately to say, I guess it's the modern day Rodney King situation.
But now we have technologies.
And people are able to see it.
Yes. My point is that technology, the same exact thing, but technology allowed us to start a whole movement.
Exactly. So it's pretty much, like I said, there's not much that, that happens in the world today where technology is not involved. And to have an initiative like this where young kids can find the passion, whether it's in, building games or, in the medical field, there's
DJ
mixing, shout out to Team of Hope.
Team of Hope, and you have a DJ
Academy,
mixing. One of the
DJ
things.
Lucky C.
Yep.
That is true. And, we have a drone piloting program that the drone training school is, that they're spearheading. We had the first class last week, Saturday.
And you became certified?
Oh, no, not yet. You have to, there's an exam that you have to take. Yes. I'm sitting in to take the 107 license.
Yay. So tell me a little bit about the drone program, like 60 seconds.
Yeah. So the drone program, it's a talent development program where, people that may be in the photography, videography field, or anyone that's looking for a career where they're able to come and sit and, take the exam and learn how to actually pilot a drone. So last week was actually pretty cool because we had, we have a different range of people that actually sat into the program. They actually learned how to pilot a drone in the classroom.
That's crazy.
On the same day. So we had seniors, seniors participate. We had 18 and up, and we, the program is 18 and up, but we had a different range of people that participated in the program and learned how to pilot.
And everybody gets to keep the drone.
And everybody gets they actually have to take the exam. The exam.
But they get to keep the drone.
Exam, they get to start a drone, a commercial that they actually go out and find freelance work. Yeah. They have the skills. So it's something that they'll be able to, they'll be able to take that skill with them and hopefully find something that they're interested in doing and develop a passion to do something with.
That is really, I'm very annoyed that I'm not in that program.
Yeah. Well, you have to be a resident. You have to be a resident.
Oh, I have to be a resident.
Definitely got to be a resident.
Voila, I did not. I'm so embarrassed. Don't tell me. Tell anybody I did not know that. Anyway, so maybe one day I will move to City of North.
You should.
I was looking at real estate. We have to talk about that.
Okay.
Anyway, so and then on next Wednesday, on the 30th of
well, before next Wednesday, today we have Nomi Tech and Connect.
Oh, yeah, I forget. Okay, so today we have the Black Professionals Network
with
the beautiful Kanasha. And tonight we have
Nomi Tech and Connect. It's at 6 p.m. tonight at the Cats.
At the Cats Lounge.
Yes.
Okay, so Nomi Tech to Connect.
Yes.
with Miss Beautiful Kanasha tonight. I will see you there in my still cute
I
outfit.
will be there myself.
Very good. And then on Wednesday, the 30th of April.
Yes, Wednesday the 30th is a senior luncheon. Smart seniors luncheon. Seniors get to come and hear how they can leverage technology as a senior, and it's not just something for younger folks, but there's a lot of opportunities for them to be able to use the technology, how different ways that they can implement it into their day-to-day lives, and also how to avoid being taken advantage of, because there's a bad side to technology with identity theft and stuff like that. So if you don't understand it, so they'll be able to learn the do's and don'ts and how they can leverage technology in their day-to-day lives.
Got it. So, and we're looking forward to it. It's a beautiful panel. Terry Williams is going to be on the panel from One United Bank. Richard McCulloch's dad, Bertie McCulloch, who's 90 years old and a tech whiz, is going to be on the panel. Dion Polite, State Director for AARP, is going to be on the panel. And then Claude Charles, who is the
Information Technology Director.
Who's the Information Technology Director. So that's next Wednesday, and for the residents of North Miami. Okay, so we're done. We're way over our time. So how do I find out more about what you're doing, John?
So you can find out more. You can visit the City of North Miami main website, or you could contact us. You can email us at economicdev@northmiamiflorida, abbreviated fl.gov, or you could basically call the city. 305-893-6511 is the main line. Whoever answers the phone would be able to direct you to the Economic Development Department.
You can also go to northmiamitech.com.
And you can also go to northmiamitech.com.
There you go.
That's true.
All right.
Thank
you, John Lorfils.
Thank you for having me.
Coming. Bye.